Good morning, everyone, team. Let's start the session for today. Meanwhile, others can join parallelly. Right. So in the yesterday session, we were talking about the concept of security administration in the system team. And as part of the security administration, what we are going to see in this particular concept, I have introduced it to you. What we are going to discuss in security administration, we are talking about the user account management in the Fusion application and the role management in the Fusion application. How the user accounts getting created. It might be for employees in the system, or it might be only just user accounts for our implementation team. Okay, whatever the type of user accounts that we have to create in the system, how to define them. So as I told you, we have two ways. One is manual way of defining the secure user accounts, and the other one is automatic. I am telling you team. And in fact, after creating the user account, what we have to do, we have to assign the respective roles to that particular user. In that respective assigning of roles only, the user is getting access to all the functionalities in the system. That is what I am telling yesterday. In Fusion application, the entire security concept is working on a one single node called RBAC, roles based access control. Correct team. As part of that yesterday, we have created one of the user account in the system and we added our respective roles to our user account. So what happened to that particular user? The access related to different screens with respective to these roles, what each role will provision, that all access the employee receiver team, right? That is how the security in the application is working. Now, within user account only team, I told you, roles we are going to take up separately once we complete our functional training so that we can understand very deep level within the roles, what are the different types of roles, what are the functionality restrictions, or what are the data restrictions in the roles, we can see team. But within the user account creation only, when we created the user account yesterday, we are getting some options team, something like username. A format system is taking automatically, first name dot last name, or password policies, or password expiration policies. Certain validations with respective to the user account creation, we observed yesterday. From where they are coming, how to customize them, let us see in the system team. Okay, let us see in the system team. Let me go to the system. Okay, okay. Let me go to tools. Let me go to tools. And then let me go to security console. So as I told you in the Fusion application, the entire security. Yes, Ravi, this is fresh session. Why you are doubting that is yesterday? We are continuing that topic which we have started yesterday. Okay. So yesterday when we are creating the user account in the system, where we defined team, we came to security console, we went to users, and then we created the user account. So what is the user account we created yesterday team? Trio.test. This is the account which we created team. As part of that, I have concluded the session here. In the actions button, we spoke about lock account, reset password, delete account. Here, these two options we have to discuss, and then I will talk about some other validations within the user account creation team. So as I told you, if you want to lock or unlock the account, you can make use of this functionality. If as a HR admin, if you want to reset the password of the employee, we have the option here. Or if you want to delete the user account permanently from the system, then you can delete here. Or if you want to compare two users, I mean, two employees are there, you want to compare what access the two users are having, you can make use of this functionality team. Go to compare user. So current user is TrioTech. Second user, you can search team. Any employee in the system, if you want to search, you can search here. So click on OK. Now I want to compare this trio test with John Dunbar. Click on compare team. So what access that these two users having in the system with respective to the roles that are assigned to them, to what access both the users are having. See, in trio.test, you are seeing this green color tick box. It means what, team? For all these functionalities in the system, see, access to payroll dashboard, access to payroll flows, or calculate quick pay, generate pay slips. These all are the different screen level functionalities that user can access, team. So this trio test having access to these areas, but John Dunbar is not having access to these areas, team. And some functionalities you can see here, both the people are having. See, change worker manager, change working hour, change channel administration, channel operation. Both TrioTech and John Dunbar is having. So as a HR admin, if you want to compare any two users in the system, like what access these two fellows are having, you can make use of this compare users team. This functionality earlier, it was not available in the system. I'm talking about 2 years back scenario. This functionality introduced in the system only 1.5 year or 2 years back only, team. It's a new functionality in the application to compare two users. If you want to export the details into the Excel, you can even export to Excel also. This particular results overview file will download. See the comparing file. If you open that, you can see in a very detailed note in the Excel team. See, these all are the artifact names, like the different functionalities in the system. So here you can compare yes and no. So this is one of the usability that we have in the system to compare two users simultaneously, team. And then we have something called a copy user. What is that, team? So yesterday I was creating this user trio.test, and to this user I have assigned all these roles, team. Now I want to create one more user account for another employee with the same roles that trio test is having. Then why should I again go to add user account, give the all the details of that employee and adding one by one all the 5 or 10 roles, rather than doing that, team? Anyhow, this employee having all the roles assigned, the same roles the second employee also should require. Simply I can go and I can copy the user. Whatever trio test we have created, the user account is there in the system. The user information, the role information from this user will be copied. See, copy user. You will land upon add user account and see all the roles of our trio.test copied here. Now simply I will give the second account details, first name, last name, password, and I will click on save. This will save my time in order to add one by one role manually to that employee team. From one employee to another employee, if you want to copy the roles, then you can make use of this functionality team, copy user. Even this functionality came last year. Earlier, it was not available in the system, team. As part of quarterly upgrade, in one of the quarterly upgrade, Oracle came up with this new feature in the user account section. So the same compare user, sorry, here, whatever we are having compare user, we have the option here also. You can perform that from here also, team. That's okay. What a HR admin can perform to the user account, we have seen, team. Now, let me try to create add user account, a new user account I'm trying to create, team. So I'm giving, okay, first name of the employee is something like, let's say Rajesh Kumar, I'm giving. Then Rajesh Kumar @gmail.com. I'm giving my email ID, team, and then I'm coming to the next attribute. See, the moment I given my email when I'm creating the user account, automatically username taken up with Rajesh Kumar @gmail.com. Why it is happening here like that? Who given the instruction to the system that the username of that employee should be email ID of that employee, or the password complexity when we defining the password or when we resetting the password yesterday, team? Simple, complex, very complex options are coming. Who decided that in the system, the password complexity rule should be decided, or password expiration we have seen yesterday when the user account which I created, starting from yesterday's date, 90 days after that password is getting expired. From where these all validations with respective to the user account is coming, team? As I told you, we have something called user category. And in fact, in the system, I told you what, team? When for the first time you are working in your client's application, by default, you will have only one category called default. These many you won't find. As it is a training instance, many people created their custom categories team. But you will be having only one category when you are working in the real time. At this user category level, we are going to maintain all that rules or regulations for the user account maintenance in the system team. Where you can find that user category, we have a separate task available here called user categories. Now let me go to another window. Okay, I will keep this like that, the user account screen. Now I will go to tools. Okay, I will go to tools, security console, and then I will come to user category team. Come to user category, and in this list, you can see your default category. That is non-deletable. See, we don't have any cross icon also because that is by default given by Oracle with a mandatory flag. Okay. Okay. Other categories, when we will define, I will let you know. Once let me talk about this one. So let me go to default category team, default user category. And here we have 4 sections: details, password policy, notifications, and users. So the very first tab we are on currently, the details section team, default user category details. On this details tab, we have that particular components team. If you want, you can edit it. Click on edit. This is the user category, and here we have to talk team. Username generation rule. Here, these are the 4 available combinations that Oracle giving in this SaaS product team. You cannot go with any other combination. Your user account or user ID should be either first name dot last name or email ID of the employee or first letter of the first name and last name or person or party number. Person or party number means team. In Fusion application, when you hiring the employee in the system, there will be a concept called person number allocation team. Nothing but employee ID or employee number in the Fusion application. We will call it as person number. So do you want employee ID to be the username for every employee? Then choose this one. Then these are the available combinations team. Currently, for our user category default, username generation rule kept as email. That's why when I'm creating a new user account under this category, the moment I given the email address of the employee here, automatically the username taking up that format team. If I have given username generation rule as first name dot last name, see, I'm changing it to first name dot last name. I changed it, right? Now let me try to go back and try to create new user account. Default, right? Then I will give something like Rajesh Kumar. Okay. If I give email also, no issue. I'm giving some email ID, but still there is no change. Username is taking up what? First name dot last name. This is considering from this category level rules that we are defining team. Because I have configured first name dot last name. Earlier, what happened? When I give an email ID, automatically that email taken up as username, because that rule earlier was like that. So from here, you have to choose team. Depending upon our client's business request, what is the username format that they want to follow in the system for their employees? Okay, we can choose accordingly whatever the option team. So I'm going with first name dot last name as of now team. And then generate system username when generation rule fails. What is this one team? Generate system username generation rule fails. Usually when the username generation rule will fail team, live example I will tell you here. I have created a user called trio.test yesterday. What is this employee first name team? Trio, last name is test. Let's suppose I'm trying to create one more account with the same name. That ideally will happen in every organization team. When you go with first name dot last name, if you take up an example of Ramesh Kumar, in a country like India, many people will have that name, Ramesh Kumar, Ramesh Kumar. So already one employee joined with the name of Ramesh Kumar, and now again one more employee joining the organization. That person name also Ramesh and Kumar. So while hiring, first name Ramesh, last name Kumar, you will give. Then what system should take already Ramesh.Kumar user ID allocated to the person? Now, one more person joining the organization with same name. In our case, trio test. Then what system should take? Actually, it should take first name dot last name. But here duplication is coming. Already that combination allocated to the user account in the system. See, this is the case. If you enable this one thing, generate system user name when generation rule fails. When the rule will fail, when the duplication comes in team, then system will take up automatically combination like this. See, it inserted some alphabet key. Then third person joining, that person name also trio test. Then trio.b.test. Then trio.c.test. Sequence will take up accordingly from A to Z. If that many count also filled, still duplications are coming. Then trio.ab.test, trio.ac.test. Like that, it will have the own sequencing by inserting some alphabets in between team. Trio.a.test. This is the result if the username generation rule failing for that user because of duplication already there. That is about generate system username when rule fails team. These are the things we have to discuss in the details level. Generation rule, and if it is failing in case of duplication, does system should able to create it or not? And then password policy. So if I come to password policy team, click on edit. I have couple of options to define team, like days before password expiration. Yesterday, I was creating a user account team. If I go to my user account, see password expiration date trigger with effective to May 22nd, 23. Means 90 days the password is getting expired. That is what the date trigger. From where it came team, currently at this default category level, days before password expiration kept as 90 days team. So days before password expiration means for every how many days your user account in the system should expire the password. So this is also again your client's requesting whether they want to follow 60 days policy, 90 days policy, or 120 days policy, or they don't want any password expiration. In that case, go with some bigger number team. In that case, some bigger number you can go because that many days we don't know whether employee will be there in the organization or not. If you give that much bigger number, password will not expire till that many days team. So it's all about your client's request or the business requirement team. What is the password expiration limit that you are expecting? Every 90 days you want, then keep like that. So whenever you're creating a user account under this category team, that user accounts will come with password expiration of that 90 days or 60 days or 120, whatever it is you are mentioning team. And then days before password expiry warning. So for every 90 days, password is going to expire. 10 days before, I want to send a warning notifications to my employee stating that your password is about to expire. Kindly reset the password. So how many days before you want to send that password expiry warning notification? Then hours before password reset token expiration. So password is about to expire on 90th day. How many hours before in that day you want to send one more reminder notification to the employee 4 hours before, 5 hours before. You can give whatever is your requirement team. And then password complexity. Password complexity. What is that team? When I'm creating a password or when I'm resetting a password to the existing account team, see, password policy is coming simple, at least 8 characters and 1 number. Because currently in this system, under this user category of default, under password policy team, complexity of the password given as simple. Simple. Simple means minimum 8 characters and minimum 1 digit. That is what it is showing here. Now I will change, see, complexity I will change it to complex. If it is complex, minimum 8 characters, minimum letters in uppercase is 1, minimum digits is 1. I have changed it to complex, correct? Now I change it to complex. Now come back to the system. Now come and go to any user account which you created under that category team. Click on reset password. Now see, password complexity coming what complex. So when I'm updating the password, now I'm updating it with some welcome 1 2 3 or something I'm giving. Okay. See, the moment I given a password, some error it is showing. What is that? Password must be 8 characters long and password must contain at least 1 numeric character and 1 uppercase letter along with the 8 characters. See, I have not satisfied that particular condition of complex rule that I have given. Just I have given some welcome. So it is not allowing me. This validation will come whatever the complexity rules that we are setting up here at the category level team. So that is complex. If you want very complex, then you have special characters included. If you want your custom combination, your client is telling, Kumar, I want something like minimum characters 12 and uppercase is 3, lowercase is 2, minimum digits to be 3, special characters is 1. Then write up of your own custom combination also available team. So what is your business requirement? You in the sense your client's business requirement. Accordingly, you have to choose all these options team. And then disallow last password. What is this disallow last password team? Whenever HR trying to reset the password of the employee or from the front end when employee resetting the password by himself. Okay, every 90 days we are setting up password should expire. So every time employee will reset the password to the application team. During that time, can the employee use old password again for resetting? As of now, for my trio.test, the user password is welcome@123team. On 90th or 91st day, when the password about to expire, employee resetting the password. Can he reset with the same password as welcome@123? That is coming from here. Disallow last password. If I checkbox team, system will not allow the password to reset with the same old password team. Okay. If I uncheck this one, disallow last password, then system will allow to have the old password used again team. Okay. So if you want to keep it validation, keep it enabled. Disallow last password. So old passwords cannot be used. Every time user has to go with new password, whatever they are giving team. And then administrator can manually reset the password. What is this team? I have shown you, right? As a HR admin, if HR want to update the password of the employee, they can come to reset password. Then manual option is there. They are able to do this one, right team? Or from here also, actions button, reset password, manual, and they can do. If your client is telling, Kumar, I want to restrict this manually changing the password option to the HRs, then come here team. Administrator can manually reset the password, you switch off, save and close. Okay, now come and check out team. Reset password. See, manually change button graded out. I cannot select this option now because this was restricted. I cannot select it now. that is also coming from this default user category, because our user account trio.test we created under that category only team. So whatever the rules we are maintaining in that category, that user account will provision with all that validations in the system with respective to user account and password team. See, that is administer manually reset. Now I put it back. Now see, if I come to reset password, I have the manual option available. See, I can select it and I can do whatever I want. So that is about details section, and this is password policy. And next team, we have notifications. What is that? In Fusion application team, we have something called notifications team. Like any things happening in the system, any transactions happening in the system, the concerned parties will receive the notification team. In the similar way, with respective to user account management, several transactions are available team. Something like when employee hired, the new account created. So employee will receive a notification stating that welcome email, your application account created. Click on the link to reset the password. That is one notification. Or when employee click on forgot username, forgot password, or password reset. For all these kinds of transactions team, the concerned employee will receive the notification. One copy in the bell icon in the system and one copy to his email ID. System will send the notifications team. So here at the user category level, you have a provision to customize your notifications. Means you want to enable or disable. This is only specific to user account. I'm not talking about all the transactions across all the modules, only with respective to user account. Click on edit first of all. The notifications tab, you come and click on edit. And here, notification preferences and notification templates team. If you come to notification templates, events, if you see, events are nothing but different transactions that happens in the system with respective to employee user account team. See, something like here also, templates, whatever you find with code ORA, they are the Oracle seeded delivered team. Other things you can ignore, someone created manually or customly team. Usually that will be not required. You can make use of seeded ones. So ORA one, if you see, so this is new user created team. So event is what? New user created. This is the notification template which is related to new user creation. Means what? When a new user account created in the system to an employee will be triggered with this notification team. This is the subject line. When a notification come, the subject of the email will be Oracle Fusion Applications Welcome Email. And if I open the template team, how the body of the mail will be coming up, we can also see from here. Click on new account template. See team, this is new account template, and the mail language will be in American English. If you want to change it to another custom language, then when the mail system is sending, the body of the message will come in that language team. But currently it is in American English. Message subject is this one, and the message is this one. This is kind of expression language team. Dear, first name dot last name, hard coded with that for every employee. Then congratulations, your Oracle applications account has been successfully created. Please follow the link below to reset the password. So if you want to send a notification to the employee when the new account is created team, you should able to enable this one. If you come and disable this one team, save and close. See, for new account template or new user created team, for this one, notification I disabled. See, if I want, I can enable here. So what happens team if I disable this notification in the system? Now see, the flag will enable. See, enabled. If it is enabled, then only when this new user created to the employee in the system, this particular notification, nothing but email will trigger. If I switch off that one, disable that one, when new user account created to the employee team, the system will not trigger any notification. So you can control the notifications related to the user management in this category level team. During which situations you are expecting the notification should work and which situation notification should not work. Same for forgot username. For password expiry warning, or you generated the password, then password generated, password reset confirmation. Couple of things. We have many events available team. So you can able to disable and enable the notifications by entering into each of the template. But overriding all these individual events, we have something called notification preferences. Simply, if I disable notifications here team, in the entire application, whatever the default level events are there related to user account team, any transaction triggers, for none of the transaction, an employee will receive notification because you have disabled entire notifications team. But your requirement is not that one. You want notification should trigger, so enable it. At individual level, you can get into them and you can delete or enable, not delete, enable or disable team. So by making that enable and disabling, the notifications will trigger when these particular transactions happening in the system. One sample notification I will show you team. Just to give me 1 second. I will try to open one email that which we received for the earlier batches when we are working team. Right. So this looks like this team. So this is one of the sample email for the new user account creation. So when we hire an employee team, when the user account gets created, the user will receive the notification. From address will be our application, whatever the application we are using team. Okay. But at that point of time, we are using another server, that is dev47 server. So that is the from address. And see, dear, this is my employee name, test111. Then congratulations, your application account has been successfully created. Please follow the below link to reset the password. For any issues, contact your system administrator. So this is the subject of the email, see, and that is what we are seeing here also, the subject of the email. When the new user account created, see, Fusion applications welcome email, the subject, and then body of the message also team. So if you want to customize these things, you cannot edit the custom seeded Oracle delivered templates team. So that's why Oracle given a custom way to define the template also team. So I will edit someone created here, new account template. Let me open it. So if it is a custom template team, you can create for what event you are defining. So you have to select here, add template. Okay. For what you are creating the template, enable that. This is for new user creation. Okay. Enable, and then event you have to choose for which particular event it is. All the transactions with respective to user account you can see. So for new user account, so in which language? By default, it will take up team from the source that what we have, Oracle delivered template. If you want to customize it, you can customize team. Please feel free to reach the admin team, like that. Or body of message subject also, you want something like welcome to Tata Group family. If your client is Tata, let's assume, okay, like that. So you can even customize your template here team, and you can save and close. So even you can make use of your custom notification template in case of new user account creation. Like that, for multiple transactions with respective to user account team, we have the notifications area, enable and disable team, so that you can make use of it. Usually, this is often less used in team. I mean, the seeded templates only will be used. And here, if you can go to users, currently in this instance or in the application, how many user accounts got created under this category? You can see everything team. See, these all are the currently employees in the system. These all are the currently employees in the system under this category who are having their user accounts team. So that information you can see here. this is about user category in the system team. So when you creating a user account, okay, by default, the user accounts will be created under user category. Now you might get a question. Kumar, everything is fine. We understood what is the usability of user category in the system. But why Oracle given the custom option to define the user category? Why Oracle given the custom option to define the, custom allowability to create the user category team? See, I will tell you with the requirement team. Let's suppose my client is Tata Group. Okay. Let's suppose my client is Tata Group. I'm going to implement a project for this company. Okay. So Tata Group is having the requirement like, they have something like Tata Automobiles Private Limited team. Tata Automobiles Private Limited team. So every employee, whatever they are going to hire in their company team, their username should be email ID of that employee. And then the password complexity should be complex. Okay. And then password expiration should be every 60 days password should expire. And disallowing the last password, they want yes. They don't want to allow the last password. And admin can manually reset the password. It should be yes. And notifications, they want it to trigger for all the events in the user account related aspects. This is a requirement. But at the same time, in Tata Automobiles Private Limited, a client having some implementation accounts. Example for our team. Okay, we are having the implementation user accounts, correct? We means we are not employees in the system, just the user accounts we have. So implementation user accounts you take team. Or clients will create some technical or admin accounts also. Technical or admin super user accounts, usually they will ask to create in the system. Means what team? These accounts also will not be associated to any employee record in the system. But in order to schedule certain processes, in order to run certain reports in the system, only just user accounts clients will be using team. They will be called as super user accounts, having all the rules of all the products assigned to them. Usually the top level IT people or HR heads will be using these accounts. They are not accounts related to the employee, but they require some technical or super user accounts in order to perform certain transactions in the system. So implementation accounts or admin accounts, if these people accounts are there in the system, for them, the username rules are different. What is that? For them, it should be first name dot last name. Okay. And then password complexity should be simple. Then password, it should never expire. It should never expire. Then disallowing the last password should keep it as no. Admins should not allow to reset the password manually. None of the user accounts related transactions happening to these accounts, the notification should trigger. See team, two sets of requirements are there. For the employee user accounts, these are the rules my client is telling. Other than employees, the implementation team user accounts or admin super user accounts. For these user accounts, these are the rules client expecting. See, two sets of rules are there. How can I do that? Achievability. That is the place why Oracle given the custom scope to create the user category team. So by default in the system, any company or in any legal in Fusion application companies, we will call it as legal entities or legal employers team that we are coming to see. In Fusion application, whenever you hiring the employee in your client's organization team, by default, the employee user account will be created under default category. There is no change in that. Take it as a thumb rule. By default, if you are hiring an employee in the application, the employee user account will be created under default category. So whatever the rules that customer expecting for that respective company, for the employees whom they are going to hire in that particular company, what are the rules for the user account, they can maintain them in the default category. Take it as a thumb rule, team. In the application, if you are hiring the employee, by default, the user account will be created under default category. By default. That is why Oracle given us the provision not to delete that default category. We cannot delete it. By default, all the employee accounts in the system will be created under default category. Now, about these accounts, implementation team user accounts or admin super user accounts team. When these accounts were creating team, we can make use of custom category. So click on create and I will define new user category team, something like implementation user category. When you're creating a custom category, don't give space in between team and description you are giving. Next URL is not required. And username generation rule for this what team? First name dot last name. Then system generation rule fails, yes. And then whatever the rules you want to configure for rest of all, you define team. Next password policy. Next password policy. Go to password policy, edit. What is that? It should never expire, I'm telling. Password policy should be. So I'm giving some bigger number like this team. Okay. Then days before all these things remain. And this is simple. And disallow last password, I'm not enabling. Administrator can manually reset, I'm not allowing team. Then save and close. Then next notifications. I don't want any notifications to trigger in the case of these accounts I'm telling. So simply I will come. Notifications also I will disable at the top level team. So none of the notifications will work in this category. Now, if you go to users, so far nothing is there because it is a fresh category we created. Now the category is there, see, implementation user category. So now I can make use of that. When I'm creating all these implementation team user accounts or technical user accounts, rather than using default category team, I will create under implementation user category. So see now, something like TrioTech or TrioTest, whatever it is, username is coming accordingly to first name dot last name. Because under this category I'm creating. Now password rules, password expiration rules, everything what I configured under this category will be levied to this user accounts. So it depends whether every customer will go with custom category, it all depends thing. But by default in the system, if you're hiring the employee, all the employee user accounts will be created under the default category team. Not only this requirement team, my client is having one more requirement. What is that? My client is having two companies. One is Tata Automobiles, one is Tata Steels Manufacturing Private Limited. So we are implementing the Fusion application for these two legal entities in the system. In this application, they are going to implement these two companies. For the company Tata Automobiles, they have separate rules. For Tata Steel, separate rules. In this case also, team, by default, all the employees will create under default category. For Tata Steels, you can create a separate category later and you have to move all the people to that category team. We can even change the category of the employee team. See, I have created trio.test under default category, correct? Now, if I edit, I can even change the user category team. Edit, default, I'm changing to implementation category. Save and close. I can change. Now, whatever the rules are maintaining in this one, that will come to that user account team. So you have to handle the system as per your requirement of the business. So Oracle given us the provision to define the custom category also team. But by default, every employee record that you are hiring in the system, their accounts will get created under default category. So whatever the rules your business is having, you can define that particular, rules in that particular default category team. So that is about user category where certain validations with respective to the user account we can maintain. And here, as I told you, team, if you go to roles, you can talk about whatever the roles that Oracle delivered by default in the system. For each module, I'm telling you, Oracle standardly delivers the rules like payroll administrator. So if I search here, payroll administrator role will come. Not only for HCM team. If this product is licensed with supply chain or financials or anything, you can even search that roles also team. See, accounts payable manager, accounts payable specialist, or I will search with supplier related to supply chain. See, supplier account receivable specialist, supplier administrator, supplier bidder, supplier channel management, all the roles for each of the product, whatever the roles that Oracle providing for each of the modules team. Every role information you can find in this role section team. So further, when we're talking about the concept of role management in detail, I will explain you how to customize the roles as per our client's business requirement with respective to data restriction or with respective to functionality restrictions. We can talk later. We have the provision to create custom roles, compare roles at all. I will talk about later. Now, one more thing I want to tell you, team. User accounts we have created in the system. There is another place in the application team where you can handle your user accounts as an admin. What is that team? We have a task available called manage user account team. Come to setup and maintenance. See team, going forward from tomorrow, any module, okay, if I am starting with a module of core HR in the system, any setups in the module you take, 1 second. Any setups in the module you take, if you want to start, or you take absence, you take payroll, anything team, we are going to come across this respective task called setup and maintenance. In the settings and action, we have something called administration. In that, we have something called setup and maintenance team. This setup and maintenance task, we will call it as functional setup manager. This is the task which will navigate us or which will give us the access to go through all the configuration or setups related to any module in the system team. So going forward, every day when you are working on the implementation project, you should be coming to this setup and maintenance team. Click on setup and maintenance, then you will land upon your setup screen. And here you have search crawler team. You can search with your setups or the tasks what you want to configure. But you have one more search area available team. Come here, click on search. And here you have something called team manage user account. We have a task available in the system with respective to security. Sorry, manage users. There is something called manage users. Go to manage users team. You can also search your user here. Whatever is the user that you created team, trio.test. Okay. Your user will get resulted here. Okay, I know that why that is not resulting is that is not linked with any employee in the system. That is why our trio test is not resulting. Basically, if that our user accounts are related to employees, you can find that user accounts resulting here. See, when I search with John, they are resulting. But when I search with Trio, that is not coming because we have created just user accounts, right? These all are just user accounts. We have not tagged to any employee. But if it is an employee account team, as a HR admin, even you can come to manage users, search for that employee for whom you want to perform the transaction. Okay, go to that particular account, click on that. And here you can do some necessary updations if anything you want to perform to your employee team, like anything, edit user you will land upon, like whatever HR able to perform from here team, like editing, changing the username, first name, last name, email, they can also do from here also team, like last name, first name, anything they want to change. And currently this is the username to the employee. If you want to change the username, you can change the username team. If you want to make the username inactive, you can inactive. If you want to link any account, let's suppose team, you hired the employee, but user account not created. In that case also, rather than going to security console, then creating the new user account here like this, coming to add user account, then keeping worker, then search the employee. Rather than creating like this, you can also come to manage user, search the employee, and you can able to link the user account here team. You can search and you can link the account here team. So you can see the employment information. Currently, this employee, John Dunbar, in this system, working as an employee in this company, legal employer, Visual Corporation, business unit, employee, employment information, role information. Okay, what are the roles currently he is having? These all details an employee can, HR can even check in. I mean, why I came means from this task also HR can able to do some manipulations that what they want to perform to the employee user account team. They can delete it, they can add whatever it is, the roles to the employee from this screen also. So just keep it in mind. We have one more task available called manage users team. So this is about the concept of security administration with respective to the context of user account management team. Manually, how to create the user account and how the concept of security validations are working from the user category level, we have seen team. Now coming to the automatic option, as I told you, whenever we hiring an employee in the system, the user account for that employee will get created automatically. We no need to manually define the user accounts team. But if you want this automatic option to be working in the system, we have one prerequisite to enable team. There is one prerequisite. What is that team? We have a task available called manage enterprise HCM information. Okay, in Fusion application, our organization structure will start with enterprise only team. We have something called manage enterprise HCM information, where we will create our enterprise in the system team. So in that respective task, we have to enable a functionality called user account creation. Okay, we have to give the option as both person and party users. Go to this respective task, and in the user account creation, we have to enable user account creation should be for both person and party users. If you are not configuring at the enterprise level user account creation like this team, the automatic option will not enable in the system. So in order to have that user account creation automatically workable, we have one prerequisite setup which we have to do. Means that functionality we are going to enable team, where in this respective task here. But this one, we no need to talk now. We are going to see elaboratively that setup team here. Probably next 1 or 2 sessions, we are going to start with that one. In this respective task, we are going to enable that automation in the system for user account creation team. So this is about the concept of user account creation in the system. So I will conclude the session here for today team. In tomorrow's session, we will take up the furthermore topics like enterprise structure in the Fusion application, or creation of implementation project, or enabling the offerings in the system team. Like whenever you start working in the project, once client given you the access to their application team, as an implementation team, the very first and the fundamental thing that we have to do is what? Our entire team should get the user accounts and their access. Right, this is done. Next will be enabling the offerings in the system, like what modules we are going to implement for the client. That offerings we are going to enable. So in tomorrow's session, I'm going to show you how to enable that offerings in the application team. Now let me go to the questions that I can see in the chat. Okay, Ravi's question got addressed. And what if we give a wrong email? Will the system prompt? No, Ram, it won't prompt any email, because that validation is not available in the SaaS license. Whatever the email you are giving, it should be taken care by the HR when they are giving. If you are giving a wrong email, user account will create, but the notification will not trigger to that one. When system trying to send the notification, it will ends up with error. It won't be delivering to that. And in case the email you have mentioned is invalid, in case user changes, will the username of the employee change? See, whenever you are changing an email ID, first of all, email ID change will not be given to the employee in the system. Employee cannot change any email ID. Only HR can do the changes. So when they are updating the email ID, user account also, if they want to update, they will update accordingly. In fact, they have to do that. New user email, they have to update it. And username is not case sensitive. You are correct, Ashish. And how to create new custom role and permission list. That we are going to start in our role management class, Veera. When we're talking about the roles, I'm going to talk about how to create the custom data role and add the security privileges restrictions to them, data restrictions to them. They are yet to be discussed. We can see that. And security console, right? I will tell you why it is restricted to you. Let me stop the recording.